because Democrats might vote for that. I mean, these people are working for the American people, and they've got to work with Democrats, and the Democrats have to work with the Republicans.
Good
Because if
morning,
not,
good evening,
our
good
country is just going to fall
afternoon.
apart.
Welcome.
All right,
welcome.
Robin, and the
Hope
House is
everyone
about to gavel in. Let's
doing
see what happens
amazing
here on the
on
House
this
floor.
lovely Thursday morning.
Gavel coverage
Couple
here
programming
on
notes.
C-SPAN.
Notes. Couple programming things. As you can see, we're just now entering the House chambers. We're about to start the third round of voting for Speaker of the House. There's been a lot of back and forth. I don't think that they ballot a speaker on the third ballot either. And they've already kind of backed themselves up with that. They are going to vote this afternoon to expand Speaker Pro Tem McHenry's powers. So, yeah. Just kick the can down the road. Don't actually do your job. Be Congress as we know Congress to be. And yeah, I mean that's how it's gonna be. So that's where we're gonna be at. So buckle up, it's gonna be a long one. Couple other programming notes. I think this is an interesting timing, and I don't think anything happens in a vacuum. I think they do it with the greatest of intention and know what the hell they're doing 100% of the time. I think that a lot of this comes down to that President Biden, our commander in potato, has a speech this evening, a primetime address to the nation at 8 p.m. Well, the interesting thing about that is if there is no Speaker of the House, he does not need...
Again, live shot of the House of Representatives. We are waiting for the...
Shut up. He does not need congressional approval to start a new war. Fun.
Not to move forward today, anyway, with a...
Because the... Sorry, where was that? This lady keeps cutting me off. So they, without a speaker in place, he can bypass the Congress's power to declare war, for this specifically. So that's an interesting timing aspect, and that could mean that tonight's address could be a declaration against Russia, China, Iran, Israel, Hamas. Hell, who knows? Pick your adversary today. It's like a choose your own adventure book. I have a little bit of a sore throat, so I won't be talking nearly as much. But yeah, I'll be here hanging out with you guys as long as it will hold up. So I think that's about it for today. Of course, I will be carrying the primetime speech from Joe Biden when that happens. And it looks like we're entering the chamber. So, normally 2 hours so we can figure out if anybody's here.
The prayer will be offered by Chaplain Kippen.
Would you pray with me? Compassionate God, overwhelmed, overwrought, or just plain over the circumstances in which we find ourselves today, would that we heed your counsel not to be anxious about anything, but instead in prayer and supplication with thanksgiving,
should be anxious
pause
about
to make our requests known to you. With consternation over the discordant concerns in this chamber, in prayer and supplication, may we set aside our differences and in this sacred moment, together make our requests known to you. With deep disquiet for the countless threats to peace and security across the globe to which we have obligation to attend, in prayer and supplication, may we acknowledge your direction over our efforts for the work before us, and together make our requests known to you. With silent petition for our individual grief and pain, which know no boundary between work and life, may we in prayer and supplication yield to your divine healing, as together we make our requests known to you. With thanksgiving and with hearts united, if only for this brief moment, may we claim your peace which passes all understanding and which will transcend the anxieties of this day. Guard our hearts and our minds that we would bear witness in this place to the sure and certain hope to be found in your sovereign care and steadfast love. Amen.
Okay, I didn't want to interrupt the prayer.
The chair has examined the journal of the last day's proceedings and announces to the House the approval thereof. Pursuant to Clause 1 of Rule 1, the journal stands approved. The Pledge of Allegiance will be led today by the gentleman from New York, Mr. Higgins.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pursuant to Clause 12A of Rule 1, the chair declares the House in recess subject to the call of the chair.
They recessed? Are they not
The
voting?
Speaker Pro Tem Patrick McHenry in the chair. There you saw, putting the House in recess subject to call of the chair. We are back getting your reaction to the latest. Jim Jordan, the nominee on the last two rounds of voting for Speaker, opted not to seek a third round of voting today. And according to roll call, he told House Republicans behind closed doors this morning, leading up to this noon House time, that he'll support expanding Speaker Pro Tem Patrick McHenry's authority to get the chamber functioning again temporarily. We also heard from Marjorie Taylor Greene that she thought this resolution was going to come to the floor here at noon Eastern time when they gavelled in, but it appears not quite yet. So we will continue to watch here on C-SPAN to see what happens next. Do they bring this resolution to the floor? According to reporting from Manu Raju, emerging from conference meeting, Marjorie Taylor Greene told us the resolution to empower Patrick McHenry will be introduced at noon. There will be an hour debate and a vote to empower him until January. So if this resolution comes to the floor, it sounds like that is how it will work here in the House for today. So your reaction to all of these developments on Capitol Hill?
Well, that's interesting. I didn't... It was said to be a third round of voting, so I apologize for that. But that's even more interesting. So essentially, they're voting on a speaker, but they're voting on a speaker till January just to fund the war that's coming. So instead of doing their job once again, they're just going to kick the can down the road and work themselves around everything because they can't be bothered to do what the hell we elected them to do. That's why every single one of them, all 435, should get their asses voted out. And we should get somebody new that will actually do the job. Because this is to the point where it is beyond ridiculous, where we cannot even vote for a Speaker of the damn House. Cannot even vote. Cannot even do our basic functions of government, which are pass the budget, vote for a Speaker. We can't do either one of them. We haven't done either one of them. It's a joke. Vote everyone out. If you vote for an incumbent in this election cycle, you are the problem. Everybody needs to be voted out of the House of Representatives, the Senate. We need new, quote, leadership. This is just disgusting at this point. That we abandon appointing a speaker because we can't even do our basic function of government. Bullshit. So, let's say hello to everybody and we'll get right into it. Well, apparently not anymore. With the new developments, they're not even going to vote for speaker anymore. They're just going to put Patrick McHenry and grant him extensive powers. So he'll be the speaker for all intents and purposes without the speaker title. So he'll be the Speaker Pro Tem. He'll have all the powers of the speakership. And they're just going to put it on the back burner and not care about it again. So that's an interesting development. I'd heard grumblings of this, but I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it build like this. Which, I mean, in retrospect, doesn't matter. It's still related to the Speaker of the House, and we're still going to, quote, get a speaker today if this resolution passes. But it's garbage. Absolute garbage. But they can't do their damn job. Like, when is enough enough? When do we say, you know what, fuck this? Like, when is enough enough? We have to hold them accountable. We have to stop, and we have to make it so that this stuff ends. What's up, Alex?
Do that. I wouldn't be able to do that.
Hang on. Good morning, Shanny. Here we go again. I think I have that clip, don't I? Nope, looks like I got rid of it. Damn it. Anyways. Well, apparently they both are and are not. So they're going to figure it out. Just not in a way that makes sense. What's up, Neo? Oh, they've already done it. By conceding that they can't elect a speaker, so we're going to extend powers. Well, no, I mean, there's still going to be debate and stuff like that. So we'll stay right here and watch the pseudo speaker vote, watch the debate on McHenry as the nominee. No plan debate on any resolution to empower McHenry as interim speaker. So they aren't even going to debate it. They're just going to push it through. House of Recess, no speaker vote expected today. So we'll hang out and we'll wait around. I agree. I also agree that this is beyond infuriating at this point. Yep. Every single one of them need to be voted out. Potentially. I don't know. They're not going to vote on speaker at all. They're going to vote on a resolution to empower McHenry, who's the current Speaker pro tem, to hold the powers until January. So to be the pseudo Speaker of the House until January without any official title of Speaker of the House in the House. So there will be no official 56th Speaker of the House as of now. But he will have the vested powers of the Speaker of the House. Yeah, because eventually somebody's going to kick me off this platform. I hate these people. They won't even come forward with what they're seeking to vote for Jordan. At least Gates and others had demands and negotiations. Exactly. Yeah. There's well, they're neocons, so they can't come forward and say because then we'd know their game. And the people that do already know their game. But I think that's the dirtiest part of politics. If I were blessed to be in that position and be a politician at some point, might happen. I don't know. The one thing I would do is be transparent with my constituents and the American people 100% of the time. Hey guys, I'm not voting for this because it seems like bullshit because they put a bunch of funding in for Ukraine. I think that's reasonable. At least explain your position. You owe to me, you, and everyone else here, every other American citizen, what your position is and why you voted in that way. It's not just, trust me, I'm the boss. So I think that's the most infuriating thing about their whole situation and system is that there's no accountability. They never have to tell you why, how, when. They just do what the hell they want and hope that you're not going to ask any questions or push them too hard. And then if you do, they either push back or call you names or play more games or do something stupid. Like it's never. There's just no accountability in today's politics, and it's so frustrating. I think this is.
Who's your candidate then? Who is a consensus candidate?
I would say Jeffries at this point.
Oh,
A Democrat.
suck my ass. See, we'll listen to this call.
The Republicans have become too extreme. The majority are letting the extreme 8 rule the party. And if they can't get their act together, you know, I'll go with a party that does have their act together. I am about, you know, there's times, yes, money's tight. That's all cyclical. We all experience that cyclically in our life. You can't blame everything on one party.
Some of you say that's a troll. It's supposedly a Republican, but I think that's the growing sentiment that people are so naive, and the Democrats are so good at messaging, and this looks so bad for the Republicans, and you know that the Democrats are going to capitalize on this. So the weak-minded, middle-of-the-road people are going to take it at face value, and they're going to say, "Oh yeah." And this is the push to get Jeffries. This is how you get that crossover vote. You start bringing this in little by little by little, and by the time January rolls around, they'll have enough time to game it out. They'll have enough time to poll test it and do all the shit that they do, so they can deceive and spread propaganda, and then we'll wake up one day and Jeffries will be the Speaker of the House, voted for by probably 50, 60 Republicans, all in really safe seats. I think that's how this is about to go down, and it's frustrating. It's infuriating. Yes, don't be a digger. Make sure I'm love chat. Don't be a digger. But we love Digger. Good morning, Digger. Hey, Cheesy. Let's see what this guy
ready
has
to
to
get
say.
back to work. And it wasn't Jim, it was another member. And everybody raised their hand. Of course we do. I mean, we were
Hey,
elected
Glory.
to do this job. We're away from our families. I want to do some good for the country if we're going to take that and make that sacrifice. So I don't think so. I'm not that cynical. That's to believe that.
Was the conference going to vote on whether to do this resolution plan, or I still don't?
I would like that to happen. We're discussing that now. Because that would be nice to know.
People are cowards.
Unofficially, officially, I guess, where the conference sits. The mood of the room was clear, though. I think it's about 2/3.
If you were to vote,
opposed.
but they still might just bring the resolution to the floor.
Maybe we'll see. We'll see. Because we're in the middle of the meeting right now. We're just doing a side Texas meeting.
If you were to vote on that in conference, would you want a majority of the majority, or would you want 217 to get out of conference?
How about some party discipline? No, just a majority of the majority. That's, you know, and again, I would support a majority of the majority. If that's what our conference wants to do, then I'll support that. Because I do think what you're going to get is 212 votes from the Democrats, one way or the other. I honestly don't know which way they're going to vote, but whichever way they vote, they're going to win the day on this particular matter.
At what point do you get concerned about needing to fund the government and getting the CR?
Oh, we're already very concerned right now. I was concerned when Kevin was removed, and that's I was alarmed then. It's very chilling, and that has.
Oh, shut up, C-SPAN.
I was concerned when Kevin was removed, and that's I was alarmed then. It's very chilling, and that hasn't changed. It hasn't dissipated at all.
What's the in conference? I mean, the effect of this could be that Matt Gaetz, having said Kevin McCarthy was not conservative enough, somehow dragged the House to the center. What's the mood in there?
No, I think that we're splitting hairs. Everybody in there is a conservative. It's a question of what is that definition. I know that I agree with everybody in there probably 80% of the time on the big matters. Whereas in the Democratic caucus, I would be hard pressed probably to find somebody that I agree with 10 or 20% of the time. So I always take anybody in there. And the point that I made, because I only speak about what I said in there, which was if we lose 5 people in this room, we're in the minority. We have to act as a team. We have to get through this. That's why the 8 folks that I think they made a mistake, of course, when they vacated the chair. That's behind us now. We can't continually be focused and obsessed on looking through the rear mirror. We have to look a bit at the way in the path forward.
I'm sorry, I walked up late, but what's your stance on this?
Oh, hell no. No. Hades, no. We're elected to lead, not kick the can down the road. With fiscal matters, we get the $33 trillion debt because nobody wants to address our spending. We have Social Security that may go bankrupt in 9 or 10 years. That's what the CBO is telling us. Oh, we don't want to discuss it though because of the next election, because our words will be twisted. We have to address these big matters. And this is a big matter. This is a constitutional office.
And then in addition to that, is there a concern that empowering McHenry, which would more than likely need the help of Democrats, would mean that there's a Republican speaker
We'll get to you in
got
just a second.
to his position with help from Democrats?
I don't think Patrick McHenry, he made it clear he doesn't even want this job. It was something that was thrust upon him. I think it's unfortunate that a majority party is letting the minority party dictate this resolution or anything for that matter, because if they vote for it, it'll pass. And if they oppose it, it's going to fail. So we shall find them. And because I'm rather curious myself as to if it's going to fail or not, because they're the ones that'll tell you. Ask Hakeem Jeffries, because this is so bizarre. It's surreal that you have to ask the minority leader if a bill's or a resolution is going to pass on the House floor when he's not in the majority.
The folks who are in
Are there any other compromises or potential resolutions being discussed?
Not that I heard. No,
the folks who are in favor of this, did they give you any sense of if they made any deals with?
No, I don't think they did at all. I think they just want to get back to work. And I mean, I understand that position. I just disagree. So, thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks, Mr. Fowler.
Okay, so that was an interesting soundbite there. Get to a couple of your chats real quick. Yeah. We'll start up here. Why is the Speaker of the House necessary? It is an enshrined position in the United States Constitution. It is not just necessary, it is required. They're the only ones that can bring bills to the floor of the People's House, the Congress. They are responsible for day-to-day operations and flow and information that comes in and out of the House of Representatives. They are an absolutely 100% necessary and enshrined position in the United States Constitution. There is very little wiggle room with that. The House cannot officially conduct business until they have a speaker. The speaker decides what bills come to the floor, all that kind of thing. They were designed and you can see their third in line place to be president of the United States for all you need to know about continuity of government and how important you thought the founders thought they were, and how important the office is, because they're vitally important. They are the people's conduit to politics. They are the people's representative. They are the highest powered representative of the actual people, and it should be something that's taken seriously and not a joke like we're seeing right now. So I agree they need to stop being babies and do what needs to be done instead of making a point. Well, it's all about poll numbers. It's all about what's tested, and don't say anything, because say anything, they can pin you down on something later, and that would be bad. God, I hope so. I wasn't listening. Well, thankfully, we have like an hour to figure out if anybody's present or not.
They all are allowed to voice their own opinions as opposed to socialism. This is how it plays out. I think we need to do the best for our country, and we need to get.
Okay, so Tony, who is your candidate, though? Who would you like to see?
Originally from the beginning.
And I think it's interesting, and I think it's worthwhile to listen to some of the people call in. I know this is a very specific subset that would actually call into a show like this. But I think it's interesting to see how ridiculously stupid and brainwashed some of our populace is. And you got to take a step back and you got to say, well, shit, maybe we deserve this. If this is what we have, then maybe we deserve this. And I know that's not a popular opinion, but is it? Is it? Are we doing anything to change it? We're not, like we've talked about so many times, we're not teaching civics anymore. We're not holding to anyone to account. There's no accountability in any office across the land. Like, is this kind of what we deserve? U.S. president is probably less necessary than the speaker, honestly. If they still took their job seriously and did what they were intended to do. The president's always been more of a figurehead, more of a behind the scenes, more of a diplomat, as it were. Not really lawmakers or policymakers, and were never intended to. So that's why the expansion of powers and the rash of executive orders have been so troubling to those of us who have studied our Constitution, because that's not the way it was set up. This is the man that should be in charge of that, not.
Single most issue that started this mess, and that's one individual being able to bring a call of confidence against the Speaker of the House, and then you have the whole thing fall apart. That's the first problem that needs to be addressed. The second is
Jordan are cowards and traitors. They have a majority,
and
but
Republicans are
blah,
Democrats,
blah, blah.
and
Yep.
the Democrats actually are more united in this. Look at themselves in the mirror, and see what's going on over there in Israel, and not take.
Well, even if you take something like abortion, and I've said it's a losing issue, this is something that's never going to get figured out because it's way past the issue. Like, the issue doesn't matter. Like, when it comes down to it, day in and day out, people have their own beliefs, and that's all that really matters. The law is outside of. It's supposed to be a majority of beliefs, but it's supposed to be outside of the influence of individual beliefs and individual voices. And abortion, I think the Republicans should stay away from like the plague. I think it is a losing issue no matter what. If you're going to come out on any side of even remotely pro-life, it is a losing issue. And I urge Republicans of all stripes to stay as far away from it as possible. But that being said, the reality is it's never going to get resolved, because it's too much of a. If you take a strong position on it, then you're a terrible person. And the debate's too good. The rhetoric's too good. They can score so many points going back and forth with each other. And, oh, well, this person said this and this person said this. And so it's one of those issues that's never going to be solved, ever. Like, and the answer is easy. Send it back to the states. That's why we have 50 individual territories that are supposed to have their own belief systems for things that are not directly attributed to the federal government and enshrined in our Constitution. It's Federalism 101. It should be a states' rights issue, and the state should decide. It should not even be on the tongues of national politicians because they have no say in it. And that's another overreach. We've gotten to the point where power is so corruptible and so ridiculous that they're in things that they never should have been in. It's not their issue. They have no basis or opinion on it. They can personally, but as a congressman in the United States Congress, no, you have no. There's nothing there for you. It's a states' rights issue. Yeah, I think Matt came at high costs to himself. I also think Matt's trying to make a move for additional office, just in some full transparency. Like, I think that he did it in part for the people and to expose some of the corruption and bullshit. I also think he's trying to make a bid. So that's always concerning, but who knows? We'll see how it all shakes out. So now well, we've heard all morning that it's bad for Israel, and we need to figure out how to send $100 billion to Israel. And I could be wrong. I think we're all in lockstep that, at least here, that no, we shouldn't send $100 billion to Israel. I think it's a bad idea. And I think it's a bad idea if you talk to anyone across the country. Like, I think if you said, should we send $100 billion to Israel? I think 99% would say, well, it's 2% Jewish population, so 98.5% would say, no, that's a terrible idea. That it will pass, and it will pass probably unanimously. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Well, they're voting for the neocons. They're voting for the Romneys and the Liz Cheneys, and I heard that floated. We should nominate Liz Cheney because she can unite both parties. No, she sold out the Republicans. I would rather have them vote Hakeem Jeffries over Liz Cheney. Honestly. And it's not even close. Not even close. I would much rather have them vote Jeffries than Liz Cheney. So that's my opinion on that one. But I couldn't believe that one today. Yeah, we should just bring in Liz Cheney because then it will be. She's a Republican that will unite both parties because the Democrats like her and the Republicans like her. The Republicans don't like her. I agree. Yeah, originally, but as with so many other things, we're so far off from what our original duty was of our Congress that I think there should be some kind of reform or some kind of disbanding of Congress because they weren't sent to do the purpose that we sent them there for. They're not doing their constitutional duty. They're out for their own self-interest. And we either need to mass replace all 435 of them or we need some kind of, I don't know, something like convention of states to reduce their power and reset them, or there are different options for doing that, but can't mention any of them here because fuck this commie platform, but you know. Yes, thank you, Rumblers. What's up, American Gorilla over there, buddy? Oh no. I'd rather have Adam. No, I can't even say that with a straight face.
2 congressional hearings, party briefings.
Okay, so we're just gonna kind of wait because eventually we're gonna get this vote. I have. Oh, they are finally building that as the war for a speech tonight. Potato Joe. Trying to see what is going on in the background. Give me just a second, guys. Because New York Times still has a vote coming on Thursday, which is today. If anybody has bullshit, I already nominated myself. I had to call my congressman. If anybody sees anything on it and wants to share, that'd be awesome. I am not seeing anything. Oh my god, the Babylon Bee is at it again. Buffalo hat wearing Ilhan Omar leads pro-Hamas protest during storming of the Capitol. I think that's an accurate picture. I don't know, but I only know what I know. And that seems like it's an accurate depiction of Congresswoman Omar. Oh, we can listen to the U.S. Ambassador Real. So it looks like they've completely went away from the speakership at this point. So let me do a little bit more work, and then we might be calling it early, guys. Hang on 1 second. Biden playing 4D chess. Biden offers the Palestinians $100 million in exchange for none of their hostages. He is a negotiator in chief. I do tell you what. Let's see. This was an interesting debate that we were having last night. Joe Biden's chin from Air Force One last night. And there's other markers that are inconsistent. Normal Joe Biden. Last night on Air Force One. Normal Joe Biden. That doesn't look right. Yeah. Did you all see that YouTube demonetized Sargon's channel that he only used for gameplay? That's not even pretending at this point. There's people that make decisions at YouTube are doing Satan's work at this point. 100%. We were talking about that last night. If you go on IDF's page, YouTube page, I wouldn't recommend it, but they are showing gruesome scenes of brutal treatment and murders of young children, and no age restrictions, no nothing. Still advertiser friendly, still up. But if I put up those same videos within a half an hour, I guarantee you I would be suspended, if not taken down completely. It is nothing if it were not a double standard. So they are not even pretending, and a lot of it is they aren't making money anymore because people are leaving the platform because most people are done with it. So, but I'll be here. I'll be here till they get rid of me, which will probably be soon. So go check me out on Rumble if you haven't yet. Same name. Link's probably somewhere. I've seen it once or twice today. Appreciate your man. But yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
Killing babies in front of parents. It was not only horrific, it
so
was
this is the House
barbaric, but methodically planned and carried out.
Confirmation of this.
Hamas has started a war.
Ambassador to Israel.
Given the dangerous state of emergency that Israel faces, the United States needs a confirmed U.S. ambassador in Jerusalem. We need someone there to reinforce the message that the United States stands shoulder to shoulder with the state of Israel as it responds to the unprecedented terrorist attack. We need someone to lead the remarkable, selfless U.S. personnel who have been working nonstop at Mission Israel. We need an ambassador who can work with our Israeli partners and help provide service.
Rumble takes 30% and YouTube takes a fuck ton now. I don't even actually know what YouTube's at because they just did their new advertiser friendly bullshit. So I know YouTube's percentage just went up, but Rumble's is only 30%. And I know that YouTube's is double that at this point. So, they already swung it and retreated it back into its hole.
Services to oversee, and we will make every effort to make sure that we get those responses to you by this weekend.
Oh shit, that's why I did this. So I told you that they're just shoving it in our face and mocking us at this point. This is one of the top hottest women of 2023. They're just mocking us at this point. Rumble recently went to 30, but for creators, if you have membership on Rumble, they take 0 for the first year. So their Rumble rants went to 30, but when they introduced memberships are, I think that's almost done too. I think it goes. I'm pretty sure it goes through like February or March. So they're not taking any cut of your memberships over on Rumble. So yep, that's one of the hottest 100 women of 2023. I think it has
to public service. His integrity, his dedication to American values, his understanding of the United States national security needs, and his deep understanding and respect for the legislative branch of government. I also know his effectiveness in crafting solutions to very difficult problems. I want to thank Secretary Lew for his service to our country and your willingness to continue that service in this critically important position as ambassador to Israel. And I want to thank your family, because we know this is a family sacrifice.
So it doesn't appear.
Thank you once again for understanding the need for Jack's service to our nation.
I have no idea who it was. She's on the list of top 100 women, top hottest 100 women of 2023. I don't think it was a woman. I don't think it was a woman. Just saying. But so here's the deal. We're not gonna get a vote today, boys and girls. The indication is if they do vote for McHenry to expand his powers, they're gonna do so behind closed doors, because they believe they have the votes. So dark basement dealings, promoting somebody to Speaker of the House without any accountability or doing their job correctly, taking the shortcut around, taking the short way around. That's beautiful. That's what our government's become, and it is a joke. So, yeah, I'm probably going to pop off and end it. I don't know who Bob Buckangel is. I don't want to ask. It's it doesn't say. It's Maxim's hottest 100. Let's see. Transgender football champion. Dramatic transition from Dean to Danny. 56. Kept it a secret until 2020. 6'4". Oh, convenient. He was arrested right before he came out and transitioned for stalking a woman, bombarding the victim, a former tenant, with over 100 menacing phone calls, emails, and text messages. I'm going to ram your car when you leave, calling her a slut and a see you next Tuesday. At that time, Laidley was wearing a dress, makeup, a blonde wig, and had about a half gram of meth. And then said that he, she, it was, were, is transitioning. So. She was number 92. And you guys know that Woman of the Year from Attitude Management magazine was Dylan, right? So she was the Attitude's Woman of the Year was Dylan Mulvaney. That's where we're at. That's what you're fighting for, troops. Yeah, no, I'm gonna do it now, Stingy. Damn it. But yeah, so we're not gonna get a vote. We're not gonna get any accountability. They're just gonna push this behind closed doors and continue to be ridiculous. So a couple things. The whole Congress before that got here, the whole Congress doesn't have to vote to authorize war because of the and realistically, that's probably why they're expanding McHenry's powers, so then Biden can still go around him. But since there's no official titled Speaker of the House, they can't declare war. However, they can give recommendations, and they just gave Joseph Biden the green light to take offensive action in the country of Iran. And they have shot down 2 Iraqi drones and 1 Iranian drone since that authorization was given. So, and also coming out about 13 minutes ago, the State Department has issued a worldwide caution. Travel alert for risk of war, terror attacks, protests, violent actions against United States citizens. So a worldwide don't leave home. So I'll look later. I want to get all hot and bothered on stream, you know. So that's going on too. So that's wonderful. But it's going to shit, ladies and gentlemen. Here's just another example of they couldn't get their shit together and do their job, and we're gonna pay for it. So, oh, it's clean. Wait, no, that's a that's a that's a lady. That manly is more man than I am. That man is more manly than I am. Wow. Holy shit. All right, I got some research to do that I can't do on stream. So, that's going to be it for me, ladies and gentlemen. If anything happens, I'll let you know. If not, I will see you next at the Biden Address to the Nation at 8 p.m. right here. So, hope y'all have an awesome day, and I will catch you very, very soon. Take care, everybody.